Hello everyone, welcome back to Amin Maths Club. Today we have a nice exponential problem, that is m to the power n minus n is equal to 77. So we have to find the value of m plus n. But remember that m and n belongs to natural number. So starting our solution, that is m to the power n. Here if we just write that dividing 2 over 2 in power, so we just write 2 over 2 in powers with this m, and similarly m to the power n, and similarly with this n, that n to the power 2 over 2, that is equal to 77. So there is no difference. If we just cancel 2 with 2 we get 1, so we have the same expression as in our problem. So we have just write this 2 over 2 in powers for our convenience here. So m to the power n whole to the power, this 2 over 2 can also be written as 1 over 2 times 2, and similarly n to the power 1 over 2 times 2 is equal to 77. So now here m to the power, here we can also write it n over 2 whole squared, and minus here we have n to the power 1, that 1 over 2, so 1 over 2 is square root, but we just write in our next step, so whole squared is equal to 77. Now here m to the power n over 2 whole squared minus n square root whole squared, because 1 over 2 is equal to value of this radical, which is square root here, so that is 77. Now here we have, if we see that it is our a and it is our b, so a squared minus b squared, it is a algebraic formula. So using algebraic formula here, that if we have a squared minus b squared, so it will be equal to a plus b times a minus b. Now applying this formula here in our step, so it will be that a, which is m to the power n over 2, and b, which is square root of n. Now a minus b, so m to the power n over 2 minus square root of n, that is equal to 77. Now here we are just writing different factors of this 77. So if we just write that all possible factors of this 77, so it will be, first of all, 1 times 77 is equal to 77, and similarly 77 times 1 is also 77. So here 11 times 7 and 7 times 11, so these are actually 1, 2, 3 and 4 possible factors, but we have to write those factors in which this our that m to the power n over 2 and plus square root of 9, it will be greater than this one. So here we see that this factor is smaller with this one, so we always here we always will take those factors in which first one is greater and other one is smaller. So in this factor, if we see that here one is smaller, so it is greater, we are going to just reject this. Similarly, it is greater 77, so here it is greater, then one is smaller, so it is factor of our m to the power n over 2 minus square root of n, it will be equal to 1, so it is smaller factor. Now this factor is valid solution here. So in next step, that our case number 3, 11 times 7, so 11 is greater, 7 is smaller, it is also correct here. So 7 times 11, it is rejected. So we have total 2 cases that we have done here. Now we are going to just write our case number 1. So our case 1 is here, our case number 1, which is m to the power n over 2 plus square root of n, that is time m to the power n over 2 minus square root of n, which is equal to, our first case is 77 times 1. So here we just write 77 times 1. Now by system of equation, this factor is equal to 77. So m to the power n over 2 plus square root of n, it is equal to 77, and this one m to the power n over 2 minus square root of n is equal to 1. So these are two equations. If we just subtract these equations, then we have here positive will be negative, negative will be positive, and positive will be negative. So we are going to just subtract these equation. Then we get here plus and minus can be cancelled. So here square root of n plus square root of n will be 2 times square root of n, that is equal to 77 minus 1 is 76. Now if we divide both hand side by 2, then this 2 is cancelled out, so we get square root of n is equal to 76 times divided by 2, we will get 38. So now if we just take square on both hand side, so it will be square root of n whole squared is equal to 38 squared. So n is cancelled out with square root, and this square is cancelled out with square root, so n is equal to 38 squared will be 1444. So it is our value of n that we have just find out. Now we are going to find the value of m. Now for finding the value of m, so we just write this equation here, that is m to the power n over 2 minus square root of n is equal to 1. So if we put the value of square root of n, which is square root of n is equal to 38, so m to the power here we have n over 2, so value of n is 1444 divided by 2, and minus square root of n is equal to 38, that is equal to 1. So 2 1 is 2, 2 7s are 14, 2 2s are 4, 2 2s are 4, we get 722. Now here we have m to the power 722, and shifting this minus 38, so we will get 1 plus 38. Here m to the power 722 is equal to 39. Now here if we just going to find the value of m, so we have to cancel this one and will be shifted in powers to our right hand side. So for this purpose we have to just write it 722 root of m to the power 722. So we have to take on the same step here to our right hand side, so it will be 722 square root of 39. Now here that is cancelled with square root, so we have m is equal to 722 square root of 39. Now here we see that if we solve this by calculator, so we don't have a natural solution here, so it is not actually the element of natural number, and in question we have given that m and n is element of n. It will be it is actually given in our question, so we are going to just reject this value of m. So if this is rejected, then we just write that case 1 is rejected. So case 1 is actually it is rejected. Now we are going to solve our case number 2. So our case 2 is actually here 11 times 7. Now this m to the power n over 2 plus square root of n, here we have our case 2. So writing this one, it is m to the power n over 2 plus square root of n times m to the power n over 2 minus square root of n is equal to 11 times 7. It is our case number 2. So now by system of equation, this first factor which is greater that m to the power n over 2 plus square root of n, it will be equal to greater factor of 77, which is 11 here. Similarly this one smaller factor m to the power n over 2 minus square root of n, it will be equal to smaller factor of 77. Now again we are going to subtract these two equations, so plus will be converted into negative sign, negative into positive and positive into negative. Now here this plus sign and minus, we just cancel this one, so we will get 2 times square root of n is equal to 11 minus 7 is 4. Here we have dividing 2 on both hand side, so cancelling this one, 2 2s are 4, so square root of n is equal to 2. Here if we just take square root square on both hand side, so we have the value of n is equal to 4. Value of n is equal to 4. So from case 2, now we have find out the value of n, which is 4. Now we are going to find the value of m here. So for finding the value of m, we just write here that on this equation, which is actually this m to the power n over 2. Now m to the power n over 2 and minus square root of n is equal to 7. Now putting the value of n here, so if we just put the value of n, then m to the power 4 over 2 minus square root of 4 is equal to 7. So here we have 2 2s are 4, then m squared minus square root of 4 is equal to 2, which is equal to 7. Now m squared is equal to 7 plus 2 will be 9, and if we just take square on both hand sides, so it will be cancelled. M is equal to that square root of 3 is equal 9 is equal to 3. So we have value of m, which is that 3. Now in problem we have to find the value of m plus n. So for this purpose we just write that m plus n will be, here m is 3 and n is 4, so we have the answer is 7. So m plus n is equal to 7. It is our final answer. So we have just find out the value of m plus n. Now checking our entire solution here step by step. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. So that's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe my channel for more interesting contents. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.